Welcome to Ardenwood's 2025 annual meeting. I'm John Osler, President of the Board of Trustees. It's a beautiful spring afternoon here in San Francisco, and we're so glad you've joined us. We have a rich program ahead with remarks from our CEO, inspiring testimonies, and a talk and hymn sing led by Dr. Ryan Vigil. To begin, I'll share a few short readings from the Bible and the writings of Mary Baker Eddy. From the Bible, Proverbs. Where there is no vision, the people perish. Colossians. Walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work, and increasing in the knowledge of God. Isaiah. And thine ears shall hear a word behind thee, saying, This is the way, walk ye in it, when ye turn to the right hand, and when ye turn to the left. And from Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures. Each successive stage of experience unfolds new views of divine goodness and love. And from our leaders' miscellaneous writings. You will need, in future, practice more than theory. You are going out to demonstrate a living faith, a true sense of the infinite good, a sense that does not limit God, but brings to human view an enlarged sense of deity. Each successive period of progress is a period more humane and spiritual. In every age, the pioneer reformer must pass through a baptism of fire, but the faithful adherents of truth have gone on rejoicing. Christian Science gives a fearless wing and firm foundation. Success in life depends upon persistent effort, upon the improvement of moments more than upon any one thing. If one would be successful in the future, let him make the most of the present. The present is ours, the future big with events. And from our hymnal, Come, O fount of every vision, lift our eyes to what will come. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce Ardenwood CEO, John Mitchell.
Thank you, John, and thank you all for being with us today. As we prepared for this meeting, I kept thinking about the original vision for Ardenwood, set nearly 100 years ago by Marvin and Mary Alice Higgins, to be a place of healing for Christian Scientists. Their vision wasn't just about creating a beautiful place, though it truly is. It was about something much deeper. It was about providing inspired, skillful care, offering individualized Christian Science nurses education and training, being a refuge for spiritual renewal, and always expecting healing. That purpose remains just as alive today, and it's echoed in our mission statement, which is to support healing through Christian Science nursing care and training, inspired living, and Christly service. As Mary Baker Eddy states in Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures, Christian Science does honor God as no other theory honors Him, and it does this in the way of His appointing, by doing many wonderful works in His divine name and nature. Honoring God is at the heart of everything we do at Ardenwood. It's our why. Over the past year, we've worked diligently to share meaningful, helpful information through webinars on estate planning, Medicare for Christian Scientists, inspirational talks, and our annual Christmas celebration, coming this year on December 7th, by the way, so please save the date. Our programs have reached thousands, and we're truly grateful. We also improved staff benefits and strengthened ties with fellow West Coast Christian Science facilities from Alaska all the way to Arizona. We're growing, adapting, and committed to moving forward with grace and intention. For example, we're enhancing our training and mentoring in the Christian Science nursing arts to make them more accessible and more responsive to each student. I'm also very happy to report that after a lapse of 2 years, we've just hired a Director of Christian Science Nurses Education and Training, a very positive step. In another example, our residential community is poised to grow. People join us from across the country to be closer to family or to enjoy our temperate climate, and always to live with purpose. Residents are actively engaged in Ardenwood and church activities. They bring joy, humor, and a deep spiritual commitment to daily life. We're also focusing on Christly service, reaching outward, welcoming the seeker, and recognizing the world's need for healing. Healing is what sets Christian Science apart. It's why we exist. You know, this year marks 150 years of the publication of our textbook, Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures. As you know, its final chapter, Fruitage, is 100 pages of healings that occurred simply from reading the book. Proof that transformation begins in thought. That's what Ardenwood is all about. As you know, 6 months ago, we said we will be here for 5 more years and possibly indefinitely. We're actively listening, planning, and preparing for long-term sustainability. But we can't do it alone. We need your engagement. So, how can you help us? Well, here are 3 important ways to do so. First, please keep an eye out for those individuals who have a gift for caring. You know who they are. We'd love to engage with them. Christian Science nursing is a powerful calling at any age. Second, please come for a visit and then share the news about our lovely residential apartments and community of Christian Scientists eager to contribute, connect, and live fully. And third, let us know your thoughts on a place for healing. Now, if you or someone you love needed care, where would you want to be? What would you look for? We're eager to hear from you because we want to be that place. And now, before I close, I want to tell you how grateful we are, truly. For you, your gifts and bequests make a vital difference, and we love your notes. Keep them coming. For the organizations that support Christian Science nursing, for the practitioners who serve so faithfully and lovingly, for our residents for their daily, ongoing prayerful support and joy, for our food service Epicurean group, for truly excellent meals. Come and find out for yourself. And for our Christian Science nurses, for your loving, skillful, round-the-clock service, we thank you. Again, in our textbook, Mrs. Eddy wrote, "Thus the dawn of ideas goes on, forming each successive stage of progress. We'll promise to keep you updated as of our progress and plans become clearer. So please stay tuned. And thank you again for your love and support. So, onward we go, together."
Thank you, John. Next, we'll hear from Christine Raymond. Chris visits often from New Hampshire to spend time with her mother, who lives here at Ardenwood. She's seen firsthand the love and care provided by our Christian Science nurses, and we've invited her to share a bit about that experience. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you, John. I visit my mom at Arden Wood from the East Coast several times a year. I always take an Uber from San Francisco Airport to Arden Wood. Most of the trips, when the driver comes up the hidden driveway to suddenly see this amazing, beautiful oasis in the middle of the city, they exclaim, "What is this place?" And I tell them, it's a place for Christian Science, healing, and living. My mom has lived here for 6 years. I'd like to share what I love about Arden Wood. Christian Science nurses walk into each room expecting to see spirit, soul, evolving life, expecting that the evolving, unfolding, and revealing activity is ceaseless and boundless, and this must be manifested in multiple ways. They come in with joy, enthusiasm, confidence, anticipation of good. My mom responds, and so do I. It's genuine cheer. Everyone here has the healing desire to be free from claims of matter of every supposition. It's a desire to be in unity with God, to be at one and at home with God. This desire is irresistible in the staff and patients. Christian Science nursing care is more than efficient or practical. It's lived grace that amplifies a complete span or arc or bow of dedicated care, from the smallest gesture to the grandest prayer. The same Christian Science nurse that offers hot tea in an early morning prayer watch, and then within the hour, be instant with the immediate, unhurried, and affirming bedside prayer, the prayer that is confident of ceaseless life. Every graceful deed is important and essential to care. It's what Mrs. Eddy describes in retrospection and introspection about how we heal. We express the living beauty of love, its practicality, its divine energies, its health-giving and life-bestowing qualities, yea, its power to demonstrate immortality. It means all is well, at one and at home with God. Sometimes healing is evident by an individual walking out the front door of Ardenwood to a new experience. With my mom, the transformed, healing thought is walking with a freer step from room to dining room and singing hymns with gusto. When I visited one morning, I was late to the community Bible lesson. Walking down the hall, I could hear a strong, clear voice reading the Bible salutations out loud. And loud! That's my mom! It had been a while since I had heard that conviction in her voice. What pictures are we accepting as true? During the pandemic period, there was a requirement of healthcare facilities to test for COVID in all patients if there were individual symptoms of sickness. At one point, my mom was tested, but did not show any symptoms. The test indicated she was sick, but her harmonious health and appearance was unchanged. No one, the Christian Science nurses or practitioner on the case, accepted the test's so-called verdict of sickness. Over the next several days, the test was repeated with the same false report, and the practitioner and Christian Science nurses refused to yield, knowing the spiritual fact of uninterrupted health and harmony. Finally, the test yielded. My mom just had a birthday celebration, not celebrating the number of years, but celebrating the breaking through of false concepts of age limitations. My big sister is so happy to spread this news. She tells all her friends, and she texted me last week. My friends are in absolute awe. Most of them are older than I am, and I see a bit of hope in their eyes for themselves. I'm not surprised. Mom's strong faith in knowing God and knowing that she is loved and cared for at all times, I think she feels joy and peace in her place at Ardenwood. I think so too, because that's this place. And the goodness of Ardenwood and Christian Science care spreads far and wide.
Thank you, Chris. We're so glad your mom feels at home here and that you do too. Now, we'll hear from two members of our Christian Science nursing team, Linda Luciani and Ore Ajayi. Both graduated last year from the Christian Science Nursing Arts program and are now part of our full-time staff. They'll share a few testimonies of healing that remind us it happens here every day.
Hello. The testimonies and gratitude we're going to share with you are proof of this statement from Science and Health with Key to the Scriptures by Mary Baker Eddy. The physical healing of Christian Science results now, as in Jesus' time, from the operation of divine principle, before which sin and disease lose their reality in human consciousness and disappear as naturally and as necessarily as darkness gives place to light and sin to reformation. Now as then, these mighty works are not supernatural, but supremely natural. They are the sign of Emmanuel, God with us. The first testimony is about a quick restoration after a fall. After a fall at home, a woman called our visiting Christian Science nursing service and was brought to Ardenwood. When she arrived, she had limited use of her right leg and arm, and speech was unclear. From the beginning, signs of healing became evident. Very quickly, she could grasp objects and feed herself. Within days, she was walking around her room and to the bathroom with light support. Soon, she was walking the hallways multiple times a day with growing independence. We gently encouraged her progress, and she rose to each step, supported by prayer and the devoted care of Christian Science nurses. As Mrs. Eddy wrote, "Progress is a law of God, whose law demands of us only what we can certainly fulfill." The patient fulfilled that law of progress and was discharged, joyfully and completely healed. Within 10 days. Since then, she returned to Ardenwood, this time to visit a friend, a lovely postscript to a full and rapid healing. And now we're going to hear from Ore.
Hello. This testimony is about finding freedom from injury and hearing loss. A nearly 100-year-old woman living independently fell while taking out her trash. Neighbors helped her to the hospital, where an X-ray confirmed a break in her upper arm. She refused surgery, choosing instead to rely on Christian Science. A sling was provided for temporary support. When she arrived at Ardenwood, our Christian Science nurses tenderly assisted her with personal care, the use of a sling, and mobility. Due to hearing difficulties, we initially communicated by writing on a small whiteboard. Throughout, she remained steadfast in her study of Christian Science and worked closely with her practitioner. Within a few weeks, she no longer needed the sling. Soon, she was freely using her arm and caring for herself again. Her hearing also improved dramatically, so much so that communication returned to normal. When her church friend came to bring her home, she was amazed at how clearly the patient could hear and speak. She called it the great spiritual healing of the year. The patient returned home completely healed, rejoicing in the practical power of truth. This testimony is about a healing of family unity and peace. A devoted Christian Scientist confronted with aggressive health challenges was admitted to Ardenwood's sheltered care program to enable her daughter to travel overseas with her family. This daughter is the only one of 3 adult children who practices Christian Science. The mother, firm in her spiritual convictions, had asked that her other 2 children not be informed of her condition, nor allowed to visit. However, about a week into her stay, the mother's care needs increased, and she was moved to our skilled care floor. When the director of Christian Science Nursing called the traveling daughter to update her, the director was divinely led to gently encourage her to reconsider her mother's wishes and to consider the healing power of family unity, of family love. The director also spoke with the mother, and her heart softened. She saw that welcoming her children could bless everyone involved. The other 2 siblings visited shortly after. They read the Bible lesson aloud and sang hymns with their mother. When the eldest daughter returned, all 3 gathered in a beautiful spirit of love and unity. One Sunday afternoon, the mother asked to see all 3 children. She prayed for them, expressed her love, and blessed them each individually. Early the next morning, she peacefully passed on, having found healing in heart and family. Soon after the mother's passing, we received this note of gratitude from her children. We cannot thank Ardenwood enough for shepherding us through the recent transition and experience of our mother. We are grateful for the uplifting, prayerful thoughts and the principled, love-filled care of our mother. You all have been a shining light to her and to us all. Our mother's last words to us were, "Be kind to one another and wash each other's feet." We have our matching orders to express God's quality to each other and the world. The love, guidance, and support that was showered on our sweet mom and us was so very helpful. It meant so much that the director of Christian Science Nursing invited us to her office to lovingly and joyfully explain our mom's needs for family love, family unity. Thank you all from the bottom of our hearts.
This last testimonial is a letter of gratitude from one of our discharged patients. Dear Ardenwood family, the best 2 weeks of my life was taking primary class instruction, and the best 4 weeks of my life was being a patient at Ardenwood. It was really being in a holy atmosphere. You all showed so much love, gentleness, and care toward me. It was a real honor to get to know each and every one of you. The entire time I was there, I felt Christian Science in action. There was never any mention of my physical condition, just a maintaining of man's spiritual perfection. In every conversation with the Christian Science nurses, there was such emphasis on demonstrating man's harmony and spirituality. Thank you all again for the kindness and love expressed toward me during my stay at Ardenwood. I continue to look back on my time there with much gratitude. My love and blessings to you all.
Thank you, Ore and Linda. We're grateful for all you do. And now it's your turn to participate. We're thrilled to welcome Dr. Ryan Vigil. Ryan is a composer, pianist, and lifelong student of music. He studied at the Manhattan School of Music, Tufts, and Yale, and has taught at several colleges. Raised in Christian Science, Ryan has filled nearly every role in church and now serves as manager of general publications at the Christian Science Publishing Society in Boston. He's here today to share insights and lead us in singing, all on the theme from hymn 497, Home is the Consciousness of Good. Please join me in welcoming Ryan. Thank you, Ryan. What a gift to hear your thoughts and to make music together. That brings our 2025 annual meeting to a close. A replay of this program will be posted on our website, ardenwood.org. Friends, it's been a good year, and we look forward to what's ahead. Thank you again for joining us today, and goodbye for now. Thank you.